once I stopped looking up angel numbers, I took it upon myself. I mean, sometimes I do feel a nudge from the Holy Spirit to like look up something if I just can't get it off my mind. But sometimes it could be considered idolization because I'll just look up the number just because I want to, right? Because I'm like, what does that number mean? But not necessarily like that. Just maybe it's speaking to me. So let me go look it up and see what it means. And then if it's resonating with me, then okay, it's from God. Like that's kind of how I was doing it, right? But anyway, so one day I was on my way to work and I felt like God was kind of just highlighting license plates to me because that's the way sometimes I am um, able to know that God is speaking to me because I used to spend a lot of time in my car and driving and stuff. And so I was on my way to work one day and I kept noticing either double letters, double digits, or triple digits. And I remember specifically seeing a 333 on a FedEx truck. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm paying attention. Okay. Because I'm like, I don't know what you're saying right now, but I'm paying attention. Because this was probably like the fifth one that I had seen on my way to work. And so then I get to work and I'm sorry. Then I get to work and I see 333 on a license plate of a car that's parked. And I believe this was someone, whoever's car it was, they were always there when I drove to work at the specific time that I started my shift. And so this particular day I decided to look it up because the letters were kind of speaking to me. Sometimes it might be an acronym, sometimes it might be a word. And so this is the way God communicates to me sometimes. And so I'll ask the Holy Spirit, like, what does that mean? Like, I'm not trying to sit here and just try to figure it out on my own. I'm trying to be led by God, right? So the numbers were 5333, but the 333 is what caught my attention, right? So I looked it up, and that's when I saw it meant sorcery or sorcerers. And so this is how God communicated to me that this is my path and what I am supposed to be teaching.
I want to make this clear. Because I know I have been seeking the Lord and have a true relationship with Him, I knew through guidance and discernment that God was communicating to me with this Strong's Concordance number. He also gave me the understanding that I needed because I asked Him what my path was in a prayer prior to seeing this license plate. So I encourage you to pay attention to the way that God speaks to you because He is always communicating and in numerous ways. So we just have to have the spiritual eyes, the spiritual ears, and discernment to know that it's from God. Because let's be real, the enemy is not sending me to talk to people to get them to stop doing what he's disguising and leading them into.
So because it was something that I was operating in. And so it talks about basically rebelling against God by using sorcery. And it states, sorcery embodies autonomy from God, seeking control through illicit spiritual means. And so sorcery is viewed as trying to gain knowledge, power, protection, or influence through spiritual practices that God has forbidden.